In the Nets' previous matchup at Philadelphia, Simmons watched from the bench, sidelined by a back issue. He believes, though, that has prepared him for tonight, explains ESPN's Nick Friedel.
And I think a huge part of this is that while he wasn't playing last year in March, he went through what it's going to sound like in here tonight. People were chanting at him. They were screaming at him. He went through all of that emotion, and that muscle memory is really going to help him once he gets back out on the floor. But he's had this game circled for a long time.
The Lakers ruled out LeBron James tonight against the Suns because of a groin strain. Manchester United has confirmed Cristiano Ronaldo and the club have mutually agreed to part ways effective immediately. ESPN reported last week that Man U was seeking to terminate Ronaldo's contract following his criticism of the club and manager in an interview. The Phillies signed President of Baseball Operations Dave Dombrowski to a 3-year extension.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
In the heart of Beer City, USA, two men, one journey to create a sports show unlike any other. Unfiltered, raw, and honest. One of them played a soccer goalie opposite Ben Stiller. The other once scored 6 points on Steph Curry. These guys know their shit.
Let's go!
Tank Spencer, Jeremy Greene, The Sportsocracy. Presented by Ingles Supermarkets. Low prices, love the savings. And Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
It is the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Welcome into the program for everyone listening around the world, everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app, and also seeing us on YouTube. If you're not in the YouTube, just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on the live video link, subscribe to the channel, and you can join the chat with us. As this is a Power Rankings Tuesday, and being Thanksgiving week, the only solution or theme for today has to be, what are we thankful for? What is each and every team in the NFL thankful for?
I will say something nice about every team in the NFL today.
32 through 1 over the next 3 hours here in the Sportsocracy. And, yes, we're coming to you live, as always, from the Ingles Studio. Jeremy's not going to have nice things to say about his New York Jets.
Oh, no, I have plenty of nice things to say.
On the defensive side.
I don't have many nice things to say about that bandana-wearing cherub little goober that plays quarterback for us.
I love it. I love it. He is so turned a complete 180 on Zach Wilson. I'll love it.
Oh, there have been very few as off-putting days as yesterday. From the end of the Patriot game till we went off the air yesterday, there have not been many times that any one person chapped me as badly as Zach Wilson did.
Yeah, last night on Monday Night Football, we had the San Francisco 49ers dominating the Arizona Cardinals 38-10. And any special thoughts about that game?
Man, I'm glad it's over.
Right.
Thank you, Mexico City, for housing us. We gave you a terrible football game with Colt McCoy. By the way, ESPN, do us a favor. When you show Jimmy Garoppolo, don't immediately show Colt McCoy. That's like showing Chris Hemsworth and then showing Tank.
Ouch. That kind of hurt.
No, it didn't.
It's a little your slander.
I could have said it was like showing Pauly Shore and then showing you. It wouldn't have been any less accurate.
Wow. Jeez,
fired up today, baby.
He's fired up for
We're back on YouTube. Let's do this.
The NFL Power Rankings. We still have the World Cups going on. They're doing stuff.
Yay.
And he passed it again. And he passed it.
And he kicked it to the other guy. And then, nope, stolen. Nope.
Yeah. Sorry. We can't help. We're Americans. We can't help but throw shade at soccer. Ugh.
We have our first one of these of the day. Let's try that again.
I'm your huckleberry.
From our buddy Colin. Just leaving this here, a little love. Jeremy and Tank want to tell you, we appreciate you guys for all the work you do. Put on a great show almost every day. Much love to both of you. We appreciate you, Colin,
Indeed.
in this wonderful Thanksgiving-spirited Power Rankings day. It's good to be back on YouTube.
It is.
I didn't know what to do with my hands yesterday. I didn't have buttons.
I always love following the chat each and every day. It just adds a little something to the show when we can interact with you, and we encourage all of you to get in on the chat as well. But first, you have to go to the YouTube stream and subscribe to the channel,
which 3,000 of you have now done. It's a big milestone
are we back
for us.
to 3,000?
We're back to 3,000
Nice.
after somebody trying to stream NFL games in your town or introduce you to singles. We also have that.
but that doesn't mean stop sharing it out with your friends, letting them know where they can find the best NFL coverage here each and every afternoon on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube from 3 until 6 p.m.
And now that we're back in the studio, it means we can do this.
It's the opening drive brought to you by Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, 629 Brevard Road. Go check them out. Don't forget to drop our names when you go in there. They will give you $250 on top of your trade-in.
I have been in a brand new 2023 Nissan Rogue, which has come in great handy as we are piecing all of the things together for a new studio setup that you will see. It's not for every day. The ESPN radio show will not change. It's when we do special things that we have a lot of coming out after the Thanksgiving weekend.
Yes. Lisa Evansell says in the comments, were you guys on radio only yesterday, or is my YouTube being a rocky bottom again? Because I didn't see it. No, we were not on the radio yesterday.
We were not, and the podcast did not go out. So, technical things. We love charity. We enjoyed it yesterday with the Ingles Giving Tree. It's a beautiful. It had the kids singing carols. It made me feel all in the Christmas spirit.
Which is saying something.
Because I have no heart.
No.
Especially not after the Jets lose on a punt return with 5 seconds to go.
You don't, but we want to encourage everybody to continue to go on down to the Asheville outlets for the Ingles Giving Tree. You can make donations to Manna Food Bank there. It's a worthy cause in this giving season, no doubt. Now, let's get into the power rankings here. Because we start off, as we always do, at the bottom.
We're like Drake. We started from the bottom, now we're here.
At number 32.
The Houston Texans.
What are the Houston Texans thankful for?
They're thankful that the Cleveland Browns are poopy and sent them an extra first-round pick that would currently be number 7. You want to know how you fix an offense really quick? Go draft Bryce Young and Quentin Johnston. End of message, repeat the line.
There you go.
Add that to Dameon Pierce. You're doing stuff. Didn't say it's good stuff. You're building a foundation.
You're doing young stuff.
There's not a lot to be thankful for in Houston, Dameon Pierce, but I feel that's very redundant.
Mm-hmm. When you're considered the retirement home of the NFL, you have to get younger.
You can also be thankful that there are only 7 games left of you having a quarterback who is half man and half G-Rat, because Davis Mills is horror awful.
At 1-8-1.
When Lovie Smith has to look at a camera and go, we could go to Kyle Allen. It's not going well.
Ooh.
But even with the way Cleveland is set up getting Deshaun Watson back, I still think you're going to have the number 1 overall pick. You are 2 games clear of that. And you're probably going to have another one that falls somewhere in the top, I'll say 12. I think that's probably the best Cleveland could do, even if Deshaun Watson came back and was immediately what Deshaun Watson is. I mean, on the football field.
And even if you don't get Quentin Johnston, you could also get, Jordan Addison.
A little high
At 12.
Quentin Johnston is clearly the number 1 receiver in this class. And then there's a drop to Jordan Addison, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. Either way, you're going to end up with a quarterback and probably a target coming off that Deshaun Watson deal.
Yep.
Of which Kenyon Greene has been okay. Not great, but okay.
Bryce Young wishes he had somebody like Jackson Smith and Jigba at Alabama this year.
Yes. So I mean, that's something to be thankful for. You're going to have 2 very high picks, which should really kickstart year what feels like 14 of the rebuild.
At number 31.
the Carolina Panthers. Here's what you could be thankful for. You're less than 2 months away from never seeing Baker Mayfield play for your team ever again.
Oh, you could only hope.
Oh, there is no shot.
You should be 2 days away from that. But
I mean, it should be Sam Darnold, but I can't make Steve Wilkes smarter than he is. I physically don't. I mean, if Sam Darnold still has 2 feet and 2 hands, he's who should be playing quarterback for this team. Mm-hmm. Unless you're abiding by the Jeremy Greene philosophy of just be awful. I mean, look, we talked about how bad the Jets were. Ooh, we didn't talk about how awful the Carolina Panthers offense was. It was in the same ballpark.
And, hey, if it makes you feel better, then that's the plan. That's why you're continuing to start Baker Mayfield, because you want to stink. Because you don't want to win games. And Sam Darnold would give you a better chance to win games, and that's the one thing you don't want to do.
No. And looking at the schedule moving forward, there's not a whole lot of hope. I mean, you play the Broncos this week, which is infinitely winnable.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go Steelers, Lions, Steelers. Let's try this one more time. Seahawks, Steelers, Lions.
Here you go.
Buccaneers, Saints. For some reason, I was looking at Steelers and couldn't stop saying Seahawks.
See, that's a dangerous schedule for them, though.
Is it, though?
I feel like it is. I feel like it's a dangerous schedule because you could screw up and win a couple of those. So
I don't think you can. I'm looking at pass rushes going, who exactly are you supposed to score on? Because even Denver, the defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
The defense is good, and that's all that really needs to happen. You can stop people. You slowed down Baltimore. I mean, you held them to 13 points. You just can't score with anyone.
Right. You could score with the Steelers.
I don't know that you could. The Steelers are way higher on this list than I think you're anticipating them being.
All right, at number 30.
The Denver Broncos.
Ugh. Third worst team in the league.
And
there are no signs. Like we've been bouncing back and forth for weeks, going, there's a sign. Nope, no, it was a fake. There's another sign. No, it
Mirage.
Was a fake. Right.
This is the diet right machine in the desert.
This team is going to bounce back and forth, making you think that there's some hope. But all in all, the Russell Wilson thing is an unmitigated disaster.
No doubt. It will go down Herschel Walker bad. Because not only did you give up that much capital, you gave it up to a team that's drafting well and has already added a future all-pro corner, what I think to be a very good left tackle, and that's plenty enough to make this just an absolute devastation of a deal for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want me to say something nice, this is the team I had to think about the most.
Okay.
It's almost over. I mean, there's the nice thing I can say. It's almost over. You've got but just a few more weeks of watching Let's Ride!
And then what?
I don't think Nathaniel Hackett's going to survive this.
I don't think he will either.
He had one hope to me. When he turned over play calling to Clint Kubiak, I said this on the fantasy show. I need to see this offense look better. And the bad thing is, I think if it does, it's an indictment on Nathaniel Hackett. Well, on the bright side for him, it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
It looked exactly the same. And I feel like he's lost this team. They look very listless. It doesn't really matter what they try to do either. Because I'm not really averse to the game plan. There's just no execution whatsoever. And you don't have that first-round pick, which, not to add insult to injury, but it would be number 5 right now.
Right.
Oh.
I think the most thankful person on the
Do you realize how bad this is going to be when Will Anderson falls right into Seattle's lap? Because 3 quarterbacks go high. There are at least 2 teams in the top 5 that I think would take Jalen Carter over Will Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just falls right to Seattle, and you go, man, this aged about as poorly as that mulleted guy who said it was going to age this bad.
You get a generational type player out of the Russell Wilson deal.
3 of them.
Unbelievable.
You could end up with 2 All-Pros out of one deal, and you got a terrible quarterback.
The most thankful member of the Denver Broncos is Javonte Williams going, thank God I don't have to play through this.
He's sitting on the sideline going, man, fellas, that looks like it hurts. Melvin Gordon, see you
later. Yikes.
Can't wait for him to be claimed by the Baltimore Ravens to be the 11th running back on that roster.
Oh, my gosh. Is that a thing?
That's the running rumor right now is that it's the Chargers or the Ravens. He's going to be claimed. It's just a question by who.
Chargers make sense. Obviously,
I think they know him reasonably well.
Right.
So.
Obviously, returning to the Chargers would make a lot of sense. Brr. It's just gotten so bad with him. The fumbleitis has hit him like crazy.
Well, he's always had that. It's not really new.
Yeah, but, I mean, this is the worst it's ever been of him dropping the ball in primo situations. I mean, twice he's dropped the ball inside the 2-yard line. Mm-hmm. That's bad. It's not good. He has actively been taking points off the board for the Denver Broncos.
That's not good.
So, anyhow.
But, I mean, that team is they're bad. Bad. And here's the thing. There's a lot more of that until we get to the good teams.
That's right. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, number 29. Coming up next.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
Ahoy, matey! At Ingles, our extensive seafood department offers a huge variety. From your local catch to flavors from around the world. Wild sashimi tuna, Charleston crab cakes, mountains of shrimp, bourbon salmon, wild mahi-mahi with mango salsa. It's enough to make any salty sea captain ready to set a course for the bounteous treasure of the Ingles Seafood Department. It's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices, love the savings.
Mom, Dad, let's talk.
Before you know it, I'm out of here.
I want to go to college.
Or start a business. My allowance ain't gonna cut it. Ooh, sorry I said ain't.
The UNest app puts smart investing tools right in the palm of your hand. And with the UNest gifting link, friends and family can contribute to your child's account. Start investing today. Download the UNest app from the App Store or Google Play. See terms and conditions at unest.co. That's UNEST.co.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I'm asking about Prevnar 20 because there's a chance pneumococcal pneumonia could put me in the hospital.
Age 65 or older, you may be at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
I want to be able to keep my plans.
So I'm asking my doctor about getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20.
The Sportsocracy.
Pull up your pants, take off the bra, and be a man!
You are in the Sportsocracy on a Power Rankings Tuesday here on ESPN Asheville, and at number 29 in the Week 12 Power Rankings in the NFL,
the Chicago Bears.
Ooh, Justin Fields really lighting the world on fire, isn't he?
Well, I mean, here's the thing: you can feel good that there's at least a tangible way to score points. Problem is, you're not winning. I mean, this love fest that we've had with Justin Fields, I mean, it's cute and all, but it doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, look, he can actually move the ball. Great. Do you really feel like wide receivers are just clamoring to play with this?
No.
Do you feel like offensive linemen are looking at this going, oh, yeah, that gives me a lot of tangible ability to be really good in this league, chasing around a quarterback that I have absolutely no idea what he's going to do?
No, not one little bit.
But I do feel that Justin Fields has earned the third year. And you're going to pick at 3, which means you're going to add a tremendous player. Or you're going to hijack a team that needs a quarterback. Somebody's going to do that. Mm-hmm. Whether it's the Raiders, the Bears, one of these teams that added an extra first-rounder, somebody's picking in the top 3. There are 3 quarterbacks. End of message, repeat the line. Especially now that Hendon Hooker has whatever has happened with him.
ACL tear.
It is definitively an ACL tear. Okay. Yep. That pushes him out of the first round. Mm-hmm. So now it's Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, K.J. Jefferson?
Yee.
So if you're Chicago.
That's a first round to third round drop off, isn't it?
And here's the thing. I'm going to go 3-dimensional chess here, as you love to say that I do. How do you make up for the mistake you made by trading up for Justin Fields? Recoup the draft capital. If Chicago trades down from 3 to, and I'm going to use the current sitting draft order, trades down from 3 to 14 with Indianapolis, that's 3 years of first rounders. That's what it would cost to get up there.
Mm-hmm.
End of message, repeat the line.
And Indy would do that, you think?
I don't know that they're going to have a choice.
To get Will Levis?
I don't know that they're going to have a choice. I also think Chicago is going to be picking at 2. Because I could see a way Carolina wins a game they're not supposed to, and I don't think the Bears win another game all year. So you hijack somebody there, you recoup the draft capital, and now you can actually see, can Justin Fields be a quarterback in this league? Can we do the same thing with him that Philadelphia did with Jalen Hurts, which is just put tremendous talent around him? I am now opening the door 5%. If you do what you're supposed to do here and just lose, baby, just lose, you can hijack somebody, recoup the draft capital, and now you're in a position of power as opposed to trying to send second-rounders out for Chase Claypool.
Well, then that's something to be thankful for, that Justin Fields is making losing fun. He's like the rubber ducky of the NFL. He just makes losing time so much fun. But the important thing is to lose. And then maybe you can recoup that draft capital. At number 28, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. And the Las Vegas Raiders, well, I mean, you did win this past week. But do you feel great about it? Do you feel like there's a resurgence coming here?
Did you walk away from that going, yeah, we're good?
We're on to stuff. I don't feel like you can have that reaction. You beat the Denver Broncos. Now, it is good to see Derek Carr throwing late touchdown passes to Davante Adams. I get that. But will it continue?
You have a quarterback in a tremendous draft class. Stop putting this on Derek Carr. It's literally getting to a point that's infuriating to me. Ask yourself this question, and I'm going to use this example more than once. If Derek Carr was the starting quarterback of the New York Jets, how good is that team? How good is that team? With that defense, those receivers, and Derek Carr, how many teams in the NFL are better than them?
Not many.
If you get to 5, I think you're out of your mind.
6, 7, maybe?
I'm not going that low. I mean, I'm not going to tell you who I have that high, but do you really look at, the Miami Dolphins, who can't play dead in the Western on defense?
Mm-hmm.
Is that better? Because I'm going to say no.
You'd be the more complete team.
Anytime you say, oh, Derek Carr is the problem, play transitive property.
Mm-hmm.
Put him with a team that doesn't have a quarterback and realize how much better they would be. You're going to pick in the top 5-ish of a very good draft with 3 quarterbacks that are going to go high. So you're going to add a player. But now you got to figure out, do I really believe in Dave Ziegler? Is that really the guy that's going to bring me out of this? Because I feel like you've regressed in a year.
Mm-hmm.
You lost Rich Bisaccia, who had that Jeff Saturday complex. Guys liked him. Guys played hard for him. I don't feel like anybody's playing hard for Josh McDaniels. And I keep hearing things about he's doing a lot of the same things he did in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that you can roll into another season with that. It's just so taxing on guys.
You have to.
30-year-old men don't want to be talked to like 14-year-old boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's the way it is.
You have to, though. They've already, the story's already been, and we talked about it. Bill Plaschke saying that they're so cash poor that they can't afford to get out of it. So you're stuck with what you have. And now you got to figure out how to make it work. And that is a major, major problem. Because if you can't afford to get out from underneath Josh McDaniels, you're definitely not getting rid of Dolph Ziggler. So you're stuck.
Yeah.
So you can't really be thankful for that.
No, but you can be thankful that you have draft picks and it's not Mike Mayock.
There you
How
go.
much worse of a drafter could Dave Ziegler actually be?
That's true. It's very true. Mike Mayock did not do the best of jobs.
He had, 6 first-round picks?
Mm-hmm.
None of them.
Mm-hmm.
None of them had their 5th-year option kicked in.
Nope.
Woof.
And hell, 5 of them aren't even with the team anymore, are they? 4
No,
of them?
Cleveland Farrell's
Something
still
like
there. Abrams gone. Josh Jacobs is still there. There's another one. Oh, and then Ruggs and
Arnett.
Damon Arnett.
Yeah.
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
It's bad. It's
Bad.
So Las Vegas Raiders come in at number 28. Number 27.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah. Whoa. I'm kind of just getting tired of this team. Like
they're easy to be tired of.
Like I'm being too impatient, I know. But it's like, come on already.
Well,
get on with it. We know that there's talent here. We know that Trevor Lawrence is this, caged up god among quarterbacks.
I don't know that we know that anymore.
I mean, we felt like he was going to be. And that's what I'm saying is like, I'm not saying he's going to turn into, after 2 years, being what we thought he was going to be, but at some point you have to show me something.
Look, Trevor Lawrence is a victim of the fact that we basically compared him to Andrew Luck, John Elway, and Peyton Manning when he came out.
Absolutely.
Because he hadn't been bad. And he's still 2-to-1 touchdown to interception guy. He doesn't get sacked that much behind a line that's not really good. I mean, he's sacked less than twice a week.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody that picked the quarterback right after that, we'll trade in a heartbeat. 65% completion. There's a lot of things to be happy about. Mm-hmm. And I do feel like Trevor is taking steps that you expect to see out of a second-year quarterback. I'm going to say something, and this is going to sound weird. I feel like we're going to compare Trevor Lawrence and Justin Herbert for the next 10 years.
I'd agree with that.
Because I'll be honest with you, I think they're the same guy.
Really?
I think they're the exact same guy. I'm not sure either one of them ever wins anything. But I think in time, you will see what I'm talking about. They're both big, mobile quarterbacks, good arm, but they're kind of beholden to what's around them. And right now, Justin Herbert has a lot. I mean, because he's got the best receiver in the NFL. Josh Palmer season, baby! Right. 2 touchdowns, 100 yards. Let's go. Yeah.
We'll get to them in a little bit.
How's your little best friend wide receiver?
Who, DPJ?
Yeah.
He's doing fine.
Yeah. He's not Josh Palmer.
He's not Josh Palmer, but he's doing just fine.
And you know why? Because Josh Palmer a dog.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Time to get just a bit outside.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
All right, Jeremy didn't give me an answer when I asked him this question before the show started, so I'll ask it.
Why do dogs have cold noses? I've always wondered that.
I will ask it here live on the air. Do you really care, or are you concerned that the NFLPA has filed an official grievance with the league because they say that the teams and the owners have colluded against the players who are in pursuit of fully guaranteed contracts.
I mean, you want my answer live on the air? Because I'll give it to you.
Absolutely.
I was never much of a thespian, never a great actor, because I'm just always this person.
So glad you knew what that word meant.
Yes. I didn't for the longest time, and I do now. Makes some conversations much less awkward. I'm going to do a dramatic reading of how the NFL received this letter from the NFLPA. Opens envelope. Pulls it out. Oh, that's funny. You think you have that much power. Bye. Bye-bye.
Just shrugging it right off.
What leagues do guaranteed contracts? The NBA.
Okay.
Major League Baseball.
Mm-hmm.
What do those two have in common? They both have tremendous financial problems. The NFL is looking at their product going, why would we create a problem where there isn't one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's what you want? Well, I would like to be 4 inches taller and play center for the Lakers. Not going to happen, and neither is that. And if that's what you're bringing to the bargaining table, the next time we collectively bargain, it's going to be a long winter.
I would love to know what evidence they have out there. I mean, so in the story about it, they have offered up just some quotes from people like Steve Bisciotti. Excuse me.
Biscotti's a cookie.
He's not a cookie. From Steve Bisciotti in the offseason, they asked him about guaranteed contracts, and he went through this whole rigmarole about, I would rather Deshaun not have been the guy because that's a groundbreaking thing to give a full guaranteed contract. You would think it would be somebody other than Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
And so, they're kind of basing their argument on this, that owners have talked about this. And I don't know. I mean, I'm sure that they have.
You know what else they've talked about? Ways to cut costs. Maybe how to sustain their league. That's not collusion. That's called running a business.
Right. Just because there is a common opinion doesn't necessarily mean this is collusion. Like, we're not sitting behind closed doors and scheming and going, we're not going to give anybody guaranteed money.
Of course they're not.
Like, no.
It doesn't make any sense.
They all look at this and go, that is a dumb idea to give a fully guaranteed contract, and we're just not going to do it. So, like I said, just because it's like a unanimous opinion amongst owners doesn't mean they're colluding. They just all feel the same way, that this is bad business.
Every team that I have any contact with laughed at that Deshaun Watson deal. Of, if you think that's where this is headed, you are out of your mind. The NFL has always had safeguards on itself. There's a reason teams don't do this. Cleveland did it because that's what they had to do to get Deshaun Watson. And that's going to be the excuse. You had a team that was leveraged, needed a quarterback who did not want to play for them. He said it out loud. And so they did what they had to do. This is never going to become a thing. And if the players take a hardline stance on this, you're not going to like how it ends. One of the most overrated things in all of sports is the NFLPA and how much power they have. Look at every negotiation in my lifetime. They come in with 50 demands, and they settle for 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's never what they really wanted. If you're positioning yourself, more power to you. You're not going to like how it ends.
Yep.
Another guy that's positioning himself for a great move, Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. We've talked about it on this show. He has come out and said he will not be taking the Nebraska job. I don't believe it was offered, so I also will not be taking the presidency of the United States, which was also not offered. But there are 2 schools.
I was going to say, it doesn't have to be offered. I mean, they would offer it. If they thought he was interested, 100% they'd offer it.
I don't agree with you. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So Nebraska's already offered their job to former Carolina Panther head coach Matt Rule.
Mm-hmm.
He said no. Matt Rule said no. This is according to CBS Sports and Dennis Dodd. He said no. Matt Rule, the chunky guy that was in Carolina, just went, nah, dog. Apparently he's waiting for an SEC job.
Not going to happen.
Well, you're not getting Auburn. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Auburn is all just full steam ahead on Lane Kiffin.
Which is ridiculous, in my opinion.
Which part?
That Lane Kiffin would take that job.
According to who you listen to, he's already taken that job.
Oh,
now,
really?
Now, he disagreed with that on on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I heard Nick Saban do that one time too.
True.
This is all about it's all about the Benjamin's baby. Who's got more and where are they coming from? That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Lane Kiffin's been a mercenary for as long as I can remember. This shouldn't surprise you. The part of this story that did surprise me was that Deion came out loud and said he was not taking the Nebraska job. But there are search committees at 2 schools that have already been in contact with him, and he's interested with both.
Okay.
One of them is South Florida, which
Why?
I kind of get. I get that one a little bit.
I mean, I would get wanting to swim in those Florida waters.
Well, I mean, it's
as
Florida.
Far as recruiting and
you can recruit at a high level.
Yeah, you
I've
play
always
in
said
an
South
NFL
Florida
stadium. It makes sense.
South Florida, Central Florida, FAU, FIU. You could really be legitimately the best team in your conference by just catching the scraps that don't go to Florida, Florida State, Miami.
It's also a great step to being the next head coach at FSU to go to USF.
Yes. The other one's the one that doesn't make any sense to me. It's Colorado. Why would Deion Sanders want the Colorado job?
Weed's legal?
I understood why you wanted TCU. He talked to Colorado State last year and apparently was in on that job too.
Huh.
I don't get that in the least. Colorado could ask me right now, hey, you want our job? I got to wash my hair. I can go to a school that is academically stringent, limited money, the fan base is really fickle, and you have a couple power brokers that basically dictate everything I do. Yep, that's 4 strikes. And I'm not much of a baseball guy, but that's plenty. I feel like I've already been asked to sit down, and I just swung again because
that's more than enough reason not to take that job.
That dumbfounds me.
USF and Colorado.
Like I said, I get USF. I don't understand Colorado in the least.
I think it says all that we need to know about your program, though, when we go, yeah, South Florida, that'd be a better job than Colorado.
It also says everything I need to know that he would be more interested in Colorado than he would be in Nebraska. Because that means he thinks I can't even turn you around in the Big Ten and compete with Ohio State.
Right.
But in the Pac-12, where there is nobody, I can win at Colorado and then go get another job. Coach Prime is not long for Jackson State. I can't tell you where he lands, but I can tell you he's going to land somewhere.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Week 12 power rankings continue next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray weather in the forecast and temperatures in the low 30s tonight. Not really seeing much on weather radar, though. Mostly sunny Wednesday, high 63, low 33. And Thanksgiving Day, partly cloudy here in Asheville with a high near 60 degrees. Do see some wet weather after the holiday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heaviest rains likely Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. Could see half-inch rains both days. I'm meteorologist Scott Larimore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Mucinex DM. Say goodbye to retaking medicine every few hours. Buy Mucinex DM to get cough and chest congestion relief for 3 times longer than typical 4-hour cough and chest congestion medicines. That's 3 times longer relief for chest congestion and cough. Nothing lasts longer. Among OTC cough and cold medicines, use as directed.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a beggin' Christmas. We wish you a beggin' Christmas. Dog rest ye merry Doberman, let beggin' you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of beggin'. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
You wash your hands, you brush your teeth, but what about the nose? How do you clean your nose? With Navage. Navage uses powered suction to pull saline in one nostril, around the back of the nose, and out the other nostril, flushing out allergens, mucus, and germs. And it's why cleaning your nose, the body's air filter, is the next evolution in daily personal hygiene. People try Navage for lots of reasons. Sinusitis, colds, allergies, snoring. things that make it hard to breathe through your nose. But over time, they find that cleaning their nose makes them feel better, a lot better. Over 3 million Navage users have written more than 100,000 reviews, averaging 4.7 stars, saying, best product I've ever used, and amazing, I love my Navage. Navage helps you breathe better, sleep deeper, and snore less, but the biggest payoff is improved health. Navage is good personal hygiene and can help you stay healthier. At Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, Target, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E. Clean nose, healthy life.
The Ingles Giving Tree benefiting Manna Food Bank will be on display at Asheville outlets. Drop off non-perishable items in the donation barrels at all local Ingles locations or donate online. Help Ingles Markets, iHeartRadio, WLOS, and the Asheville Citizen-Times ensure Manna Food Bank can fill thousands of empty plates this season.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelly Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
And we come to you live from the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville and on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Subscribe to the channel so you can join us in the chat. Week 12 Power Rankings, number 26.
The Los Angeles Rams.
Man.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Just the thought that the L.A. Rams, 12 weeks into the season, would be 3-7 and just staring the abyss in the face.
I don't know what you do.
You just lost to the New Orleans Saints, for God's sake.
And you didn't just lose. They physically dominated you. I know the score doesn't look that indicative of it. We spend our Sundays at the Village Porch, 51 North Merriman Avenue. That's where we watch all of our football. I'm there Saturday, Sunday, sometimes on a random Tuesday. You never know.
He loves trivia night.
I do love trivia night. I like trivia. I like the fact that I know useless, irrational, stupid things.
I never get invited to trivia night.
Well, you're always invited. You just never show up.
Oh, well.
Because you're 85 years old and it starts at 7, and you're like, I'll be asleep 45 minutes later.
This is very true. Very true. Anyhow.
What does this team do well? What do you feel good about right now?
Nothing.
Because you do realize that you have a coach that's already flirted with television. A star defensive player that I'm not 100% sure is totally committed here.
Right.
What happens if you lose those 2? Now you look around and go, man, it got late early here, didn't it?
Now you have Matt Stafford and Cooper Kupp and a whole bunch of nothing.
And Matt Stafford looks like he's about 433 years old.
I mean, did they go back to –
and mark my word, I heard this from somebody that I really trust that knows this team really well. You know, one of the most vocal concussion people has been around the NFL? Kelly Stafford. Matt's on his second one this year that we know about.
True.
I won't be shocked if week 18 is the last time we see Matthew Stafford.
Really?
That got floated to me, and I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it, and I'm not going to tell you who told me this, but it's somebody that's very well connected to this team. I never thought of that. And if that happens, oh boy, you went from Super Bowl to disaster in one calendar year.
And it wouldn't shock me at all. I had not thought of that.
Kelly Stafford has been very vocal about concussion issues in the NFL.
And Matt's had a lot of them.
And Matt's 34, will be 35 before he plays a game next year. Don't be shocked if he just walks away.
I would bet you his number is probably up to 5 or 6.
At least.
Yeah, because he got his brains beat in several times with the Detroit Lions. So, wow. I had not thought of that. But this becomes, I mean, they're already looking like a 4-13 team. You take Matthew Stafford out of the equation.
This could be the worst team in the NFL in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat.
Now you've got like you've got like this 2013 Tampa Bay Buccaneers kind of a thing going on. Like, remember, Tampa Bay fans, we got all excited. Revis Island is coming to Tampa Bay. That's going to make us so much better. And we had this Hall of Fame player and nothing else around him.
And teams just went, hey, don't throw over there.
And this is now how Jalen Ramsey goes, get me out of here.
But if you want
you be thankful for?
If you want your thing to be thankful for, it's the 2022 Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. Because we're not going to say that again for a long time.
No, Number 25.
The Arizona Cardinals. Yeah, here's what you can be thankful for. Cliff Kingsbury's going to have a new zip code within the next 2 months. That is a really bad team. Like, they're worse than I thought they were. Still better than the Rams. Not by much. But you take Kyler Murray away, that was ugly. That was hard to watch.
After thinking there was possibly, there's possibly some talent here on this team. They could do something with Colt McCoy.
Yeah, no.
Not against the San Francisco 49ers.
Not against anyone. I mean, look, I was the first on the Cardinals bandwagon.
You were.
And that shined like just the best sparkler you've ever seen. And it burned out as fast as it got lit. I mean, just look at who they play the rest of the year. Chargers, Patriots, at the Broncos, the week before Christmas. Dome team from a warm weather city playing in altitude in the cold. Buccaneers at the Falcons at the 49ers. Tell me why this team goes 4-13. And you don't have a whole lot to hang your hat on.
Maybe.
You've invested a ton in this defense, and the defense is awful. Just genuinely awful. You're committed to Kyler Murray. I mean, the good thing is that I do think a good offensive head coach will find this job attractive, especially somebody that maybe doesn't have – I mean, I'm not talking Sean Payton. I'm talking more Byron Leftwich, Mike Kafka, one of these young, innovative guys that can bring in a vet staff, work with that defense, and stop outthinking yourself. Cliff Kingsbury strikes me as the kind of guy that sits in his bedroom late at night drawing up all these concepts, and he overthinks himself at every impasse. At the end of the day, you have 3 really good receivers. Just do that. Stop getting cute with running backs. Stop it. Stop it. Horses, not zebras.
Tells you everything you need to know about the Cardinals when you look at the wins that they have on their schedule. They beat the Raiders,
the Panthers, the Saints, and the Rams.
Yuck.
You know what all of those teams have in common except for one? We've seen them all already.
That you have. Number 25.
The Detroit Lions. Don't look now, but the Lions are actually not. They're not just a terrible team. They're still not great defensively. The effort's inconsistent, but they're doing exactly what a bad team should do. Trot out the young guys and see what sticks. This year, we have 2 first-round picks. We have plenty of ability to add more talent to this team. And they just smoked the Giants. Yeah, you gave up, 340 yards passing or something like that? Who cares? You completely stymied Saquon Barkley. They walked into that game and said, we are not losing to Saquon.
Yep.
If we lose, it will be because Daniel Jones beat us. And we don't think he can do it. And he didn't. And now you look at Detroit as a team that it's still funny to me to see that their pick is 13 and the Rams is 6.
Right.
If you had told me their picks were 6 and 13, I would have gone, hey, I mean, that seems a little low for the Rams, but I guess I could make it make sense.
Right.
No. their pick is the worst of the two. Oh. Yep, I did not see that coming.
Yeah, no, the Rams definitely the surprise of the season, as god-awful as they are.
And I didn't think they could win a game this way. I thought Jared Goff would have to shoot out with because I thought the offense was good, and the offense is good at most of the time. But they've been hurt. You don't have Jamison Williams, and you're still 4-6.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been happy with this record if everybody was healthy. I mean, I think there's a lot of positivity coming out of Detroit right now.
I would say so, because they're finding ways. They're finding ways to win. They're finding new guys to use.
They're figuring out who the young guys are.
Yeah, Jamal Williams. Do you think he is a surprise?
No, I think he's the running back of the future for the Detroit Lions.
What?
I do. I don't think there is anything. I see DeAndre Swift at this point exactly the same way I used to see Darren Sproles. You are so electric in very short order. You need 12 touches at most. Breaking news.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Speaking of those Los Angeles Rams, they just waived Darrell Henderson.
Really?
What a train wreck that team has become.
It's because Cam Akers is so good.
That's a weird way to say alive. What a train wreck. I have never seen a worse year for a defending champion in any sport.
Mm-hmm.
In any sport. At least the Warriors had a year where they were just god-awful after they won a title because Clay was hurt. This is not somebody's hurt. You're just this bad.
Why would they do that? I don't get it. Are they in on Melvin Gordon or something?
I wouldn't be shocked because they're very high in waiver priority. So that wouldn't shock me in the least. He played 4 snaps this week, and I had heard things were afoot. Maybe he had gotten vocal, and Sean McVay didn't love it.
You can't really blame him for that.
I don't think you can.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville.
I believe real estate isn't about properties. It's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, serving all of Western North Carolina. Navigating the home buying and selling journey can feel overwhelming at times, and that's why having an agent who cares about you and your needs is key. I'm a native of Western North Carolina, and I close over a home a week. I'm an expert in the market, pricing my sellers correctly to net you the most money, and working as a skilled negotiator for my buyers. Please give me a call today at 828-774-6343 to set up a complimentary market analysis.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Rogue Combat Club, Asheville's home for comprehensive martial arts training, has a goal for our community, one that's stronger, more fit, and unwavers in its support of one another. Rogue Combat Club's instructors have competed at the highest levels and offer classes for everyone from young children to adults in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, and wrestling. Rogue Combat Club classes can help you boost your self-confidence and self-defense skills while weeding out the egos and intimidation found at other gyms. Join today at roguecombatclub.com.
Are you ready to tackle your banking needs? Home Trust Bank's team of expert advisors and lenders want to be your teammate. We want to hear your story, learn your aspirations, and assist you with financial needs, and provide options that are tailored to you. With a wide range of personal, mortgage, and commercial services, you will discover all your banking needs under one roof with a local and personalized touch at Home Trust Bank. Score big with Home Trust Bank. Ready for what's next. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Help the planet with a tip from iHeartRadio Earth. Education doesn't just take place in the classroom. There are many ways for children of all ages to learn about sustainability and environmental education at home. Visit iHeartRadio.com/earth for a list of resources, activity guides, and toolkits that are educational and fun for the whole family. Brought to you by iHeartRadio Earth and the National Environmental Education Foundation. To find more tips for smarter, sustainable living, or to take action in your own community, go to iHeartRadio.com/Earth.
Hi there, I'm your host, Dog, filling in for the human who's normally here and bringing you the smells and sounds of the holidays, courtesy of Beggin' Dog Treats.
We wish you a begging Christmas. We wish you a begging Christmas. Go quest ye merry Doberman, let begging you acquire. Deck the halls with strips of begging. Arf, 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 arf.
Remember, for bacon-loving dog excitement this holiday, it's beggin'!
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked!
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
For more information about contests on the station, log on to espnavl.com.
Week 12 power rankings continue here in the Sportsocracy. Follow us at the Sportsocracy on all social medias. Number 23.
The Cleveland Browns.
Yeah. The Cleveland Browns. We know they can run the ball really well. That passing game's not bad either.
And you still lost.
That's fine. You were playing the Buffalo Bills. You knew that you were going to lose anyway.
Yeah, but you were playing the Buffalo Bills, who had not been able to practice all week, dealing with a snowstorm. Well, I shouldn't say all week. They hadn't practiced at the end of the week.
Mm-hmm.
They had flight problems. You played what might be your best offensive game of the year, and you still lost.
To one of the best teams in the league.
I'm aware of that, but that was such a trap spot for Buffalo. They had so many things go against them. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I almost took Cleveland. When we picked this game, I considered it. I just thought, this is a lot of instability.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the thing to be thankful for. You have a top 5 NFL quarterback that's getting ready to trot out of the tunnel 1 week from now. And the negative is you didn't start the season well enough for that to really matter. But now you get a 6-game introduction to Deshaun Watson. You don't have your first-round pick, so you have no incentive to lose whatsoever.
Exactly.
And so you get 6 full games here. And I think if you do this the right way and you really show the connection with Amari Cooper, with DPJ, I could see Cleveland being a place that free agents want to come to, where talent wants to go. Plus, the defense is not this bad. I don't know what's up with the defense. I don't know if you need a shakeup on the coaching staff. The defense is way too talented to be this bad.
And they will. They'll shake things up because they very well could go on a tear here at the end of the year.
And if you don't go on a tear, you can resolve. Kevin Stefanski's not the guy, and this would be the most attractive job in the NFL.
You roll off 5 wins in a row to end the season, and then who knows? Start out next year pretty hot, and we're talking about, this team hasn't lost a game in 11 games. That's the way I could see it going down.
Probably a little drastic.
Maybe. You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray weather in the forecast and temperatures in the low 30s tonight. Not really seeing much on weather radar, though. Mostly sunny Wednesday, high 63, low 33. And Thanksgiving Day, partly cloudy here in Asheville with a high near 60 degrees. Do see some wet weather after the holiday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heaviest rains likely Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. Could see half-inch rains both days. I'm meteorologist Scott Laria-Moore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This report is sponsored by Ancestry.com.
The gift of Ancestry DNA is one that's full of surprises. Dad could discover that he got his love of German food from his mom's side, or Grandma could find that her connection to Africa is even stronger than she thought. Save now on Ancestry DNA during our holiday sale.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked!
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Imagine getting to custom order your vehicle and get 5% off MSRP. Impossible? Not at Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Black Friday sales event. Get what you want at a price you deserve. Visit us online at marioncdjr.com or in person on Worley Road in Marion. See dealer for details.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart Radio Station.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Tonight will mark the first time Ben Simmons plays as a visitor in Philadelphia when he and the Nets visit a 76ers team that will be without the injured Joel Embiid, James Harden, and Tyrese Maxey. The game comes about 9 months after the long-building divorce between Simmons and the Sixers came to a conclusion with his trade to Brooklyn. Considering that the hatred Philly has for Simmons, there's only one way he has a big-time performance tonight, believes ESPN's Tim Legler.
It's in large part because the Nets get out to a lead because the Sixers are shorthanded, and he gets into a comfort zone because there's no pressure on him to make plays late in the game. If they get up double digits, they're up 15-20 in the first half, you're going to see Ben Simmons relax, and maybe he has a good stat line.
Tim Legler on First Take. No LeBron James again for the Lakers tonight against the Suns. He's out a 5th straight game with a groin strain. Manchester United confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo and the club mutually agreed to part ways effective immediately. ESPN reported last week Man U was seeking to terminate Ronaldo's contract following his criticism of the club and manager in an interview. Baseball, Phillies extended GM Dave Dombrowski's contract through 2027.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. No holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
The Sportsocracy comes to you live, as always, from the Ingles Studio here on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. We are heard everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Take us with you everywhere you go, live or on demand. And, of course, you could join us in the YouTube chat each and every day just by subscribing to the YouTube channel. Go to thesportsocracy.com. Click on that live video link.
In the YouTube chat, we've put out the question of what does your NFL team have to be thankful for this year? And Bill Buttigieg had to be a smart aleck.
He had to go there.
Yeah, he had to say Marcus Jones.
Oh,
thanks. Yeah, you win. It's fine.
And NFL refereeing.
Yeah. Apparently blocks in the back. Just as long, you know what? As long as you didn't mean to, it's fine. It's fine. You tried your best.
It's the trajectory at which the guy was coming in and not the way the guy fell.
Yeah, here's the thing. I had a good I'm mad about that yesterday, and I didn't get the chance to do it because right as we went to do this, everybody, a hush falls over the room, and they go to light the tree, and I'm like,
It was the most hilarious thing since we've been on the air together of Jeremy. Like, that's the most, like, and I don't mean this in a derogatory way, but it's like the most clueless that I've ever seen you because you had no idea what to do with your hands. You were like,
well, because I started like this. And as soon as I did that, everybody looked at me like, hey, shut up.
They're trying to do the countdown for the lighting of the Ingles giving tree, and Jeremy's supposed to do an I'm mad, and it just a hushed silence goes over the room that we're in, which is very echoey when no one's talking.
Oh, yeah. It was echoey when, we got there before everybody showed up.
Jeremy does that lean back thing like, okay, look, we've talked about this for a while. And then the look came over his face like, what do I do, Tank? What do I do? I was like, jingle out. This is when we jingle out. We just hit the jingle and go, all right, we're going to talk about this tomorrow. And yeah, we'll get to it. I'm sure we'll get to it when the New York Jets come up in the Week 12 power rankings here on ESPN Asheville. We do encourage everyone to continue to go to the Asheville Mall. The Asheville outlets, and go to the food court where the Ingles Giving Tree is on display. You can make donations to Manna Food Bank there. Number 22 in this week's Power Rankings.
The Green Bay Packers.
Ah, yes. That fun little team from Wisconsin. I don't really see much of a future for you for the rest of the season. I'm just not getting there. Like, it was fun, the little one pop that you had with Christian Watson against the Dallas Cowboys, but I don't have any faith that you're going to be able to continue that this is actually going to be a threat now. Am I wrong? Am I discounting them too soon?
I'm going to say something, and it's going to make me sound like a stark raving crazy person. And I'm fine with that.
Okay.
The Green Bay Packers are going to finish this year 9-8, and they're going to end up in the playoffs.
Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
They play the Eagles this week.
Which they'll lose.
Mm-hmm. And then they go Bears, Rams, Dolphins, Vikings, Lions.
And they should lose 2 of those.
They should. I don't disagree with you in any way, except for one of them is in Lambeau on Christmas, and it's the Miami Dolphins, who historically are terrible in cold weather. And the Vikings, oh, wait, that's in Miami. I keep doing that. Put the schedule up the right way. I don't care.
You should care. You really should care.
Minnesota is the one that's in Green Bay that's historically bad outside in cold weather.
Yes. And that's on New Year's Day.
Correct. 4:25 in Green Bay on January 1st. It'll be a whole 6.
I have lost all faith in the Green Bay Packers.
So you watch them beat the Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really honest with yourself, and this is going to sound a little spicy, this is what it is. Really look at who they've lost to. All right, you lost to the Titans.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really good team.
Mm-hmm.
You lost to the Bills, Commanders, who are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm so tired of your aversion to that. The Jets, the Giants, and the Vikings. Okay, you take the Lions game away, which, yes, it was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Watson's getting hot. Maybe I'm not willing to die on this sword, or I'm willing to die on this shield because I've already tapped out on the Rams because I see no path to that getting better.
Right.
I do see a path to this getting better. This team's better than what I've seen. I'm not so sure the Rams are. There's another team with an older quarterback. I'm not so sure you're better than this.
I think they have the potential to be.
What is so drastically different from last year to this?
I mean,
Devontae Adams. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. He doesn't play defense.
And the defense isn't playing well.
Now,
they're not playing up to their capability.
It's not, and I'll be honest with you, I'm shocked Joe Barry survived. I thought there was no doubt he was going to be the first sacrificial lamb.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you can call me crazy. You can say I'm a big mulleted goofus.
I mean, we thought this was going to be a top 5 defense, no question asked. But it just hasn't been. Jair Alexander has not been playing up to his capability. What happened to the whole Rashawn Gary's going to have his breakout season?
Well, he tore his ACL, so that kind of...
Right, but I mean, even before that,
he had been phenomenal. Well. He was just the only player on the defense that was phenomenal.
Okay, maybe so. I just feel like this whole
I can't
unit,
remember. I can't tell you where he's at right now, but I know when he got hurt, he was like the 4th highest rated edge rusher in the NFL.
I just feel like this whole unit has been a disappointment.
It has, but there's still talent there.
Yeah.
Fact or fiction, there's still talent on that team.
Oh, that's fact.
Fact or fiction, they're still better than the Bears and the Rams and the Lions. Would you be shocked if they went into Philadelphia and beat them?
100%.
You'd be shocked. After you just saw them play heads up with the Colts, who are awful. You keep doing that, you will get got.
I would still be shocked.
I won't be shocked. I will not in any way be shocked. Okay. And that's not an indictment on the Eagles. That's an indictment on, we've talked about this team practically all season long, going, where are the losses going to come in? Did you think they were going to lose to the Commanders?
No.
There you go. Long season, buddy boy. Some weird things happen, and I don't know why I'm so on that, but I am. I am on that. Captain Gray Shirt, I am very on that.
Number 21. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Pittsburgh Steelers.
There you go.
Had to get to the button.
TJ Watt's back, and that's what you can be thankful for.
Here's what you should be thankful for. You're going to have a really high-end pick to add more talent on that team, and it's going to be an offensive lineman. That's the biggest problem on this team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Kenny Pickett's a good quarterback. With those weapons, I think he can be serviceable. Of which, how many teams in the NFL are proving that you can survive with a serviceable quarterback?
100%.
Just don't turn the ball over.
He can do the Taylor Heineke thing, but I think that's his ceiling.
And I'm not so sure that that's not fine with how talented this team is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You got to understand, as of right now, Pittsburgh would have a pick they would be at 8. I won't be shocked if it ends up higher than that. Pittsburgh has a lot of room for volatility to me because they are good. But you also have the incentive of, hey, but what if we're not good? What if we lose? You're already going to have the first losing season in Mike Tomlin's tenure.
Mm-hmm.
And Pittsburgh could be that team that leverages a quarterback-needy team, gets just a ton of draft capital. This is one of the best drafting teams in the NFL anyway. That's what you have to be thankful for. This season, the defense is totally different with T.J. Watt.
You look at these. Next two games and go automatic wins. At the Indianapolis Colts, at the Atlanta Falcons. You think those are for better or worse automatic wins?
There's no such thing as an automatic win.
Team.
There's no such thing as an automatic win. Are those games that I think you have a chance to show how much more talented than you are? Yes. Or than you have shown?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Could I see you losing both? Yes, I could.
And that's where I fall back in with this team as well. It was fun to see Najee Harris have his game this past week against the Cincinnati Bengals, but I also see that 30-point output for the Pittsburgh Steelers being more of a negative for the Cincinnati Bengals than I do as a positive sign for the future for this Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Look, I think there's a lot to be happy about for the future. This year, I don't. Just lose. Just lose.
Just lose.
I know nobody can say that out loud, but I can. Just lose. It will benefit you greatly, I promise.
At number 20.
If you want to know how bad the NFL is, at number 20, the New Orleans Saints.
This is it's not a good team. Yes, they just got to win over the Rams, but they just got to win over the Rams.
Woo.
You've beaten the Falcons, the Raiders, the Rams, and the Seahawks.
Which still doesn't make a ton of sense to me. The defense is good.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't figure out why are we continuing to do this with Andrew Dalton? But he was so efficient against the Rams. I know. Why can he not do that all the time? That team is good. 85 QBR Andy Dalton, that team's good.
Mm-hmm.
It's 14 QBR Andy Dalton that bothers me, which I have seen a lot.
And I feel like you're going to see again.
No doubt.
At least this Sunday against the San Francisco 49ers. Like, if you're feeling all good about how your life's going, we beat the Rams, and then scattered, smothered, and covered.
It wouldn't shock me if this game's closer than you think. Wouldn't shock me in the least. Short week coming off Mexico City. That San Francisco offense is not particularly all that good anyway. It's good. It has a lot of players. It just hasn't gelled yet. I mean, they scored 38 on the Cardinals because, well, teams score 38 on the Cardinals. That's Jeremy drinks beer. Well, that's because Jeremy drinks beer.
Right.
The Cardinals gave up a ton of points. Well, that's because that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks a little clunky to me, and I can see this game being close. I don't think people understand how good that Saints defense is when it's right. They've been hurt all year long.
And will they be right for the 49ers?
I mean, I can't tell you that they will be.
Okay.
I'm looking at that schedule going, you play 4 teams that have that have playoff aspirations, and I feel like you can be a fly in the ointment to at least 2 of them. And that was the tiebreaker. I look at it and go, how good is your good? I know how bad your bad is. Every team that's been on this list so far, your bad is bad, 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 but bad, bad.
Mm-hmm.
But the Saints have a good. I don't know that Dennis Allen can bring it out, but it's there.
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville, Week 12 Power Rankings. Number 19.
The Atlanta Falcons. That is the most confusing team I think I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how this works.
What do you mean?
How do you win games? I mean, you beat the Bears because the Bears are awful.
Uh-huh.
But how is this team 5-6? What do you do well? They do absolutely nothing well.
No, you don't throw the ball well. You don't really run the ball well. You play hard well. That's about it. You got a lot of heart, kid. And a lot of heart, it's led you to 5 wins. Congratulations.
If you really watched Chicago and Atlanta, you would have thought Atlanta was the better. You would have thought Chicago was the better team for 56 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
They seemed to move the ball easier. Now, it was all tied to Justin Fields, but this is where the difference between these two teams comes in. Chicago can do nice things and lose. Atlanta can do absolutely nothing and win. And they and one other team that you're going to see a little further up this list. I mean, 11 weeks into the season, this is just who you are. You win ugly. You're not going to be the ESPN top 10 because you probably don't have a top 10 play all year because that offense is – but you just keep winning.
Mm-hmm. Now you've lost Kyle Pitts, and that's not good.
It's not good, but does it matter?
I mean, he wasn't great to begin with.
No. I mean, he was a threat, but, I mean, they throw 20 times a game anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that now Atlanta's going to fall off. Why?
No.
What did Kyle Pitts do that's going to be a big drop-off? And I will say this. Quarterbacks in the NFL are going to look at Drake London and Kyle Pitts and go, I could do that. Yeah, I could go play there.
Uh-huh.
Because I can go ahead and tell you Desmond Ridder isn't it.
No.
He's not it. Marcus Mariota's not it. But that team has a ton of money. There's what you can be thankful for. You have a bajillion dollars next year.
And maybe you can get a quarterback, but for some reason I can't get away. This is the next destination of Carson Wentz.
I would struggle to believe that. He doesn't fit that system at all. No, if I was playing the game of what veteran quarterback could end up here, Zach Wilson, let's go. You think I'm kidding. I'm actually not.
I do think you're kidding.
I'm actually not. I think Zach Wilson in that system would be far better than he is in New York.
How?
What does Arthur Smith ask quarterbacks to do? Play within themselves. And this is not you get to ad lib. There's nothing there.
Uh-huh.
Play action's play action. One read. That's the guy. You throw it to him, or you take off, or you throw it in the crowd.
Mm-hmm.
There's no in between. This is dumbed down offense to the highest extreme. And he is mobile enough to do that.
I was gonna say, but how do you make that square with the discussion that we had a couple of weeks ago about him having a 4 quarterback rating when he's outside the pocket?
In that system. The Jet system is don't go out of the pocket. Just stay in the pocket. There's nobody out there. Our line's 5,000 years old. Stay in the pocket.
Okay, so it's Arthur Smith and his system can thrive on chaos is what you're saying.
No, Arthur Smith is a good offensive coach that has a system that can take a mediocre quarterback, simplify the offense, and just do what you do. I don't think the Jets can do that, and I mean, I still believe in the arm talent. I just don't believe in the kid, and I think he's lost the locker room. That is the one team that I've been looking at going, there might be something to that. I mean, because they're not going to be up there to take a quarterback. You've already won too many games for that.
Right.
So, I mean, you have to figure out something.
Well, they are at the Washington Commanders this week. That'll be a game I won't be shocked if they come up with a win. Just as topsy-turvy as this season has been, it would not shock me at all for Atlanta to keep winning just enough games to stay in that conversation of, will they catch the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the South? And then in the end, you're going to be worse off for it because you'll probably end up not catching them and then end up one game out of the playoffs And then what's your draft pick look like? Number 18 is coming up next, right here on the Week 12 Power Rankings on ESPN Asheville.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic slow, 240 westbound between Charlotte Street and Montford Avenue. 240 eastbound, traffic is building between exit 3 and exit 4A. 26 westbound is stop and go approaching Fanning Bridge Road to the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound, light delays between I-40 and Bavard Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side, stop and go between Fines Creek Road and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, northbound, stop and go between Long Shoals Road and Mills Gap Road. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Bavard Road, north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lee Minfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you sick and tired of living with that constant pain in your knees and back? You know joint pain doesn't just keep you from doing what you love. It affects your job, your relationships, even simple things like getting dressed. It's time to call QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics uses advanced regenerative medicine to restore and repair damaged joint tissue, giving you your life back. Hips, shoulders, elbows, they can all be treated with natural biologics from your own body. Powerful healing agents, highly concentrated. If you're tired of steroid shots that don't work, or if you're trying to avoid surgery, call QC Kinetics now to schedule your free consultation. Learn about these exciting new cutting-edge treatments for pain caused by arthritis or injury. No drugs, no pain meds, no downtime. This is an all-natural treatment that can get you lasting relief. People here are raving about the results. Call now. Appointments are available for this coming week. QC Kinetics. Call 828-333-9517. That's 828-333-9517 with locations in Asheville and in Greenville. Again, that's 828-333-9517.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
If cleanliness is next to godliness, look around the car right now. Is that very godly? Look, life comes at you fast, but so does WBNC Auto Detailing. They have the tools to make your interior look like it's coming off the showroom floor. You don't believe me? Check them out on Instagram. All that filth and years of stains disappear. WBNC Auto Detailing does full interior and exterior details with paint correction, and they do wax and ceramic coatings. Call WBNC Auto Detailing at 455-3700. Premium care with a Southern hospitality touch.
Since man created roads, they've been looking for ways to get off-road and vehicles to take them there. That's where Outlaw Off-Road comes in. A premier off-road center for Jeeps, trucks, and SUVs with a complete lineup of off-road and overland services, including maintenance and repair to make your vehicle all that it can be. Check out their location right here in Western North Carolina at 85 Avery Creek Road. Call them today at 828-974-8480 or visit them on the web at theoutlawoffroad.com.
Real estate isn't about properties, it's about people. I'm Clarissa Hyatt-Zach with eXp Realty, your native realtor serving all of Western North Carolina. I will work hard for you, and I believe in doing the right thing every time. I market each of my listings to reach out-of-town buyers. I use a professional photographer and drone video on every single listing, as well as collaborate with agents across the country to find your buyer. Check me out online at clarissasellswnc.com or give me a call at 828-774-6343. It would be my pleasure to assist you through the real estate process.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Yeah!
You're so excited.
It's finally happening!
It's finally happening. The Carolina Panthers are going to start Sam Darnold on Sunday.
Of course you are, because, that makes sense. Mike Indy in our YouTube chat said, Sam Darnold is worse than Baker, and no one will change my mind. That's fine. Every analytic says that's not true. Every single one.
And just wait. Just wait. You're going to get your proof on Sunday. if they can move the ball down the field even just a tad efficiently, you will have your answer that Sam Darnold is indeed better than Baker Mayfield.
He's certainly more talented. And you know who the happiest person on the planet is right now?
Other than
DJ Moore. Happy days. I might actually get the ball.
Carolina Panthers start Sam Darnold, and we'll see. We'll see what
And that
what
should
happens.
tell you everything you need to know.
You got a chance to win some games here.
This tells you everything you need to know. Because you're putting in Sam. Why are you doing that? You don't really want to win games. You don't want to win games.
Uh-huh.
But this is probably the last home game that you could win. Because your other two are against the Steelers and the Lions. Are those teams good? No, they're not. But one of them plays defense real well, and one of them scores a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Good for Sam Darnold.
You just want to give the fans something to see.
Good for Steve Wilkes. This is absolutely the right call.
Number 18 in the Week 12 Power Rankings.
The Indianapolis Colts.
The Colts. The Jeff Saturday bump continues. 1 point loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, one of the best teams in the league.
I can't make it make sense. I had the Falcons and the Colts tied, basically, because I don't understand either one of you. Indianapolis looked dead in the water, and then all of a sudden you win a game with a commentator as your coach, and then you give one of the best teams in the league everything they can handle and more. That doesn't make any sense to me.
It makes perfect sense to me.
How? So coaching just means nothing. We fired basically the entire staff. We have a rookie play caller and a coach that wasn't here 2 weeks ago, and now all of a sudden we're this much better.
What it tells me is there's more to coaching than just X's and O's. That there's something to be said for having a leader in the locker room.
Yeah, and I think in time that's going to it will all sort out with the bathwater.
Sure it will. I mean, this is not a great team to begin with. But we know that they're more talented than what they've shown so far this year.
And here's something for us all to be thankful for. Monday Night Football. After we've all gotten all the food, we're all happy, and we get the Indianapolis Colts and the Pittsburgh Steelers.
It's going to be one of the most physical games you've seen in a long time.
Oh, that's a really weird way to say something that's going to look like just complete eye bleach. Oh, like something you need a chemical eye wash station to get out of your brain.
I disagree.
Oh, I don't at all. I think this will be borderline unwatchable. Say this out loud. Kenny Pickett versus Matt Ryan.
Look, if you're in it for SMU Houston scores, then sure, you're going to be disappointed. But if you like physical football, this is going to be
I like scoring. I like scoring. If I wanted to watch two teams spend 3 hours of my life not scoring, I'd be way more dialed in on the World Cup. Let's go!
Oh.
Been waiting to do that for 2 days. Make them laugh. Make them laugh.
Look, I don't expect this team to turn around and win a whole bunch of games, but it is clear that in the last 2 weeks, they've gotten the bump from Jeff Saturday. I don't think that can be denied now. There's a different belief. There's a different attitude with this team. They know they're talented, and they can hang in there and make games interesting.
I told you earlier in the show that I was never much of a thespian. However, I do believe I can recreate what is the play caller's name? Piper Parabo or what? It's something like that.
Parker Posey?
Parker Posey.
No, it's not.
It's Parker something.
It's Parker Fields or
something like that.
I don't know. Parker Brothers.
I feel like Jeff Saturday sat him down as a physically imposing man and said, "You have one job. Run the damn ball." And that's just what they do now.
Absolutely.
Like that's all we do. We give it to Jonathan Taylor 24 times a week. Good for you.
It's what we should have been doing from the get-go. We don't have weapons. We have an aging quarterback. Why the hell are we not running the ball?
That's a good question. Frank Reich couldn't figure it out. So
no. But you know who does? That dumb old commentator.
I never said he was a dumb old commentator. I said this basically tells you if this works, it says that the head coach is not as important as we want to make it out to be.
And I don't think
he had never seen an offensive playbook 2 weeks ago.
I don't think I disagree with that.
I vehemently disagree with that, which is why I think this is all going to come tumbling after. But it hadn't yet.
It has not. It has not. The Indianapolis Colts coming in this week at number 18. Number 17, I'm not happy about it. We'll talk about it in just a minute. But first, let's get weird.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, EA Sports has apparently made the announcement that we have a date. We have a date to look forward to the greatest football game of all time coming back. EA Sports NCAA football will return in the summer of 2024. Like, I thought we were going to get this year. Like, 2023 it was coming.
I loved their press release of, we never said that.
No, but we all assumed it when you said we're bringing the game back. Like, how long does it really take? You don't
the thing that is encouraging to me is that it means they're rebuilding this from scratch.
They are.
Because I had heard they were using the Madden engine, and no. Don't do that.
The Madden engine, explain that.
The way the game runs, the gameplay settings,
right.
And it would look like an NFL game instead of looking like a college game. EA always kept these two things separate. That's the way that needs to happen. And I think enough people like me scream this from the rooftops.
I just don't understand tearing it all down. Like, and that's part of me, like, not understanding computer things. Like, you had a basis of a great game. I get that the last version was 7-8 years ago. I think it was 8 years ago. But come on, you had a basis to work on. All you got to do is just kind of upgrade the graphics and let's move on.
It's adorable that that's how you think that works. Every person like me that has, and look, I'm not to the level of making video games and things like that.
Right.
That's not how that works.
You got to start from scratch.
I mean, if you're wanting it to look right, then yes.
Okay.
And this is not like hey, just change that guy's, like, just round the helmet off. That's no.
They say that's the reason why they're not coming out until the summer of 2024, because they have so much to do building this thing back from scratch, and they want it to exceed all expectations.
And I'm perfectly fine with
They have to iron out all the legal stuff by using the players' names, because that's going to be a part of this. There's going to be some kind of piece of the pie with the NIL deals going on. The players will get a cut of it for using their name, image, and likeness. I'm sure there's a lot of ads that you got to sell for this as well, because I fully see them weaving NIL into the gameplay somehow.
I don't.
Like, you will have some sort of a like the hero mode or whatever, the Heisman run or whatever the hell they call it.
Road to Glory.
Yeah, the Road to Glory. It'll all be part of that, hey, you've got offered an NIL deal, and you could choose which NIL deal. I'm sure that's going to be part of the game.
Yeah, I'm going to say I doubt that.
You don't think so?
No.
They want a full immersive college experience. You can't have the full immersive college experience without putting that in there.
Yeah, you can. Don't overthink this.
They got all they already do all the recruiting stuff, and you make coaching visits and recruiting visits and talk to the parents and all that. Why wouldn't they put an NIL in the deal?
I will bet you that many of the schools that have already signed on, they've got 120 of the 131 the schools are signed on. They did not say the 11 that haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to bet the vast majority of them went, stay away from that. We'll sign on.
Right.
Don't do that. Make this about football. That's what we want. That's what we'll agree to. I do love that Stephen Towle said, tell me you don't know anything about video games without telling me. That's exactly right. Can you not just take the engine from 2014? That was 2 systems ago. These two things are not coded anywhere similarly.
Hey, all you got to do is...
What do you think I do over here all day?
You just got to update it a little bit, and that's
Take
it.
things I'm over here playing Tetris all day.
Look, there's a button on your computer that says update, and it just updates it, and you're done.
One of these days, they're going to find me laying on the floor with blood coming out of my ear, and I want this to be remembered.
I want you to do it faster. Summer of 2024 is unacceptable. I want it now.
I thought you wanted me to die faster. I'm like, keep saying stupid things like that. You're doing your part. Dairy cows were fed industrial hemp-produced milk that led to detectable levels of THC. I want to know why this was a study. So they gave the cows Delta 9, basically THC-infused milk. Because they wanted to see what would happen to the cow. What do you think happened to the cows?
The cows got high. They ate a lot of grass.
They yawned a lot. They salivated more than usual, and they were unsteady on their hooves. Who funded this research? Hey, guess what? If you give them domestic lights, they'll fall down more. They'll make some less than ideal decisions. How do you sit down and look at a room full of scientists and go, we're going to get the cows high? But why are we going to do that?
Because we want to see if they'll go instead of moo.
I don't know. I want to. Okay. Signed. Let's go. Apparently the intention was to figure out if there would be any redeemable quality in putting THC into the cow's feed. Wait, what did you want it to do?
Make happy milk.
I mean, did you want it to? Did you want milk that tasted like Funyuns?
Ooh.
Did you want milk that smelled like pine trees? I don't know what this was supposed to yield. Many studies, I at least look at it and go, huh. I mean, I get why you did that. It didn't end your way, but I get it.
Yeah, I don't understand this either.
This strikes me as Cheech and Chong came in and went, I got an idea. Hear me out. We're going to get the cows really baked. Then we're going to see what they do. What's the purpose of that? Nothing has a purpose.
I don't know.
The life is the purpose. And then Aaron Rodgers, that's who came up with this. Green Bay Packer, up there with all the cheese. Get the cows!
You're in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. Week 12 power rankings continue next.
This is your Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray weather in the forecast and temperatures in the low 30s tonight. Not really seeing much on weather radar, though. Mostly sunny Wednesday, high 63, low 33. And Thanksgiving Day, partly cloudy here in Asheville with a high near 60 degrees. Do see some wet weather after the holiday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heaviest rains likely Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. Could see half-inch rains both days. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time-saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 westbound between Chuns Cove Road and Montford Avenue. 240 on the eastbound side, slow between exit 3 and exit 4A. 26 westbound delays between Fanning Bridge Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound light delays between Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Haywood County 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. 40 on the eastbound side, stop and go between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, Boulevard Road, north and southbound, near Long Shoals Road is slow. I'm Lyman Field with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Everyone knows you get a better deal down the mountain at Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Black Friday sales event. Right now, you can custom order your new vehicle, plus save 5% off MSRP. Visit us online at marioncdjr.com or in person on Worley Road in Marion. See dealer for details.
The hugs, the joy, even the sleepless nights. Whatever you get from parenthood, you always want to give your children everything. And the UNest app makes it easy to save for their future. The UNest app puts smart investing tools right in the palm of your hand. Plus, you'll grow your UNest account with every purchase you make from over 150 top brands like Disney Plus and DoorDash. Start building your child's financial future. Download the UNest app from the App Store or Google Play. See terms and conditions at unest.co. That's UNEST.co.
The iHeartRadio Asheville Pro Football Pick'em Challenge rolls on. Make your picks by the Thursday night game at ESPNAVL.com. Weekly winners win a $50 gift card to Asheville Pizza and Brewing and a register for the grand prize, a year's worth of golf for two at Chestnut Mountain Golf Course.
When I finally drove the old car into the grave, I knew there was only one place I was going to go. Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville, home of the family plan. And yes, they treat you like family. I went in, told them what I was looking for, told them my budget, and in no time, I was signing the paperwork on my certified pre-owned vehicle. They have the area's largest selection on quality pre-owned vehicles and certified Nissans. They go through a 167-point inspection, so you know it's not going to let you down. They gave me the Carfax report, so I know the history of my vehicle. And the Fred Anderson family plan gives me things like oil changes and car washes and loaner cars if I have to have major work done on the car in the future. For me, buying a car has always been an intimidating thought. But the folks at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville made it super easy. Don't be like me. Don't wait till the last minute to get a deal done. Go to AndersonNissan.com or stop by the showroom at 629 Brevard Road. And don't forget to mention we sent you from the Sportsocracy and get a $250 bonus on your trade-in at Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
You might not know this, but the Ingles Bakery is actually a bakery. As in, we bake things, really delicious things. Things like crusty breads just waiting for that scrumptious strawberry jam. Apple fritters to pair perfectly with that morning cup of coffee. Cakes for any occasion, customized to your precise standards. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingles, low prices, love the savings.
The Sportsocracy.
Ice up, son. Ice up.
Back in the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville Week 12 Power Rankings.
I try to tell a story that's informational for all of the people, and now I'm just getting inundated with people going, who can drink more domestic lights, Jeremy or a cow? First of all, that is not scientific. B, I will mess Bessie up.
You got a higher tolerance than she does. She does have 4 stomachs, though. So
you're in my wheelhouse now. Welcome to Thunderdome, moo cow.
No, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. You're going to lose that battle every time.
Here's the thing. Somebody beat a steam engine like way back in the day. I don't remember who it was because informational's not exactly my home run swing. He beat a steam engine. I can outdrink a cow.
That was the fairy tale of John Henry.
That wasn't real?
That wasn't real. There wasn't actually a big dude who beat a steam engine driving hammers on the railroad.
I've lived by that story my entire life. And it was hokum. All of it hokum.
All of it. There was also a really giant guy named Paul Bunyan that chopped down trees with a single swing of the axe. It's factual. Again, proof that Jeremy did not have a childhood.
Nope.
Never heard these stories.
And that he's a big dumb bear, folks. Yeah. He's a big dumb bear.
He had a giant blue ox. Her name was Babe. And Babe would drink you under the table, son. No doubt about it.
Challenge accepted.
At number 17 in the Week 12 Power Rankings in the NFL.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, fire them cannons. I'm trying to get excited about it.
But why would you be?
I don't know. Because there's still that glimmer of hope in every fan's eye that, hey, maybe we can come up with a whole bunch of wins at the end of the season and be a threat again. And then I'll look at reality and go, no, probably not going to happen. Although I will say adding a run game could be very, very beneficial, and I think Rachaad White is on his way.
Where do I always turn to cut through nonsense?
Vegas.
You're playing the Cleveland Browns this week without Deshaun Watson. What do you think the line is? It's in Cleveland.
Tampa Bay minus 2.5.
You're right on it. It's 3.
Yeah.
That pretty much tells you everything you need to know.
Okay.
There's not a lot of belief in this team. There's not a lot that's – Tom Brady's not going to get better as this goes along because he hasn't been the problem. That's where I keep hearing people say this, go, well, Tom Brady's going to turn it on. Tom Brady's been fine. He's not the problem. It's everything else that's the problem. That bend don't break Todd Bowles defense. I hate to tell you, death by 1,000 paper cuts.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say something for you to be thankful for. 2022, sir, 2021 NFL Super Bowl champions. You get that forever. Yay. Hey, you got 3 fun years out of Tom Brady.
That's the thing to be thankful for.
Or like 2.5 years to really enjoy this. I also love the narrative of, well, Tom's 2-0 since the divorce with Giselle went final.
He is.
Yeah.
And we could still be saying that in 2 weeks, that he's 4-0 since the divorce. And do you think it's going to help you against the San Francisco 49ers in the Bay?
No, sir.
No.
No, sir.
Or the Cincinnati Bengals next week? Probably not. I mean, granted, you look at the schedule and go, okay, beat Cleveland in a close game? Mm-hmm. Sure. Beat the
You're
Saints?
going to win this division.
Yeah.
You're going to go to the playoffs, and the problem is that you're probably going to meet a team in the first round of the playoffs as the worst division winner that you're not better than.
Dallas Cowboys.
It really pains me to say nice things about the Dallas Cowboys, but that is possible.
Right. I think that's the more likely scenario.
As of right now, the most likely is that you catch whoever doesn't win the NFC East. And I don't like you against either one of them, if I'm being really honest.
Really? Against the Giants?
No. Some of the Cowboys. You're going to be the worst division winner.
Right.
There's really no path that you're not.
And we get who doesn't win the East, so it's not going to be the Eagles, so it's going to be the Giants or the Cowboys.
I meant of the two that could actually win the division, which is the Eagles and the Cowboys.
Oh. I got you.
I thought that was understood, but
I thought you were talking about
in theory, I guess the Giants with that just terrible schedule, I guess you could get there, but you just got smoked by the Detroit Lions.
You'll end up with a second-place team.
Yeah, and I would say it's probably Dallas. And I don't love you in that scenario. But we already beat them once.
Yep.
That a long time ago.
That we did. It was a positive sign to, one, see the run finally being stopped against the Seattle Seahawks in the Germany game, and two, to see a running game appear. What is it you say about teams? If you can't run the ball and you can't stop the run, you're not going to win a lot of games.
Correct.
We had been that team until the Seattle game. Now you got to show that you can do it again. And if you could do it against the Cleveland Browns and Nick
Chubb,
Chubb,
awful against the run.
But if you can shut down Nick Chubb, you got a shot. It's progress. Yeah. It's progress. And that's all you can ask for. I think that's what you're thankful for if you're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Is that you still have some glimmer of hope?
Exactly. At number 16.
The Washington Commanders.
It irritates me that we are behind them in this power ranking.
But you can't give me an argument of why you shouldn't be.
Quarterback. I mean, that's
name the position other than that you're better than them at. Don't say wide receiver. I knew you were going to say. I don't know that I agree with you.
It's not even close. You're high. Have you been drinking hemp milk again?
I mean, here's the thing. Outside of Chris Godwin, who lives hurt, he's already been hurt 3 times this year.
Uh-huh.
What else do you have?
Mike Evans.
That's in front of him. They have Terry McLaurin, of which I'm not saying he's better than Mike Evans, but it's closer than you want to let on that it is.
Okay.
And with no Chris Godwin, look around. Look at your weapons and then tell me that you feel better about that than what now that Jahan Dotson's healthy. There's a reason every rookie receiver in this draft class has been really good when they're on the field, because it was a really good draft class. That's their 3. And Curtis Samuel is the least appreciated player in the NFL, and I'm not sure it's all that close. I'm not sitting here telling you it's that I would rather have Washington's weapons. I'm saying that I knew you were going to say that, and it is exponentially closer than you want to let on.
Yeah, but we're still better. You said name a position you're better. That's one.
Fractionally. I don't think it's by much at all.
Okay. All right.
And defensively, you're not even in their class. That's not even worth talking about.
I would agree with. That I will agree with.
They did the one thing that I said Washington had to figure out before the season. They made Jamin Davis look like an NFL player.
Mm-hmm.
They stopped letting him just free range, recklessly as humanly possible, play the position. Now he stays within the confines of the system, and the defense looks like what it was 2 years ago. Now you get Chase Young back. This is the definition of a team that plays within itself. Now, why you still think Brian Robinson's better than Antonio Gibson, I have absolutely no idea.
It just makes me happy to hear you say it.
I mean, it's not saying much. You know who else is better than Brian Robinson? Leonard Fournette. You know who else is better than Brian Robinson? Zach Wilson.
I don't know about that.
I do. I don't know if Zach Wilson. I don't. That name's just lodged in my head today. I don't know if Brian Robinson has like pictures of Ron Rivera doing something nefarious.
No,
that's
Antonio
the only
does.
thing that makes any sense.
No, Antonio does.
That's not how blackmail works. You give the person that.
No, I'm not saying he's not winning the blackmail argument. Like, he's done something. He's done something to Ron Rivera, and Ron Rivera does not like it at all. He thinks he's Melvin.
It doesn't
Gordon.
make a lot of sense.
Well, he thinks he's Melvin Gordon. Ron Rivera believes that Antonio Gibson cannot hold on to the football.
And, I mean, he has a point.
The
problem is when he does hold on to the ball, he is exponentially better.
Yes, he is. And it's not even close. But the problem is, to me, the problem is with the Washington Commanders, they're going to keep winning ball games, and I still don't believe this is a good team.
Well, I mean, you get to a certain point where you keep winning games, and that argument gets a little flimsy. You're 6-5 in the NFL.
I get it. But you've also beaten the Bears, the Packers, the Colts. Yes, you beat the Eagles, but you also beat the
look at your schedule and tell me your wins are better than theirs. Because I'm going to tell you they're not.
No, we don't have any. We don't have a win that competes with the Eagles' win.
There you go. Which is why they're in front of you.
Whatever.
You undervalue how god-awful you are defensively. But you're going to find out. And I think in pretty short order.
Again, we're better this past week, and if you can continue that momentum, then things are going to be just fine.
Coming off a bye, I would feel a lot better if your coach was anybody but Todd Bowles.
100%.
It's not.
You are in the Sportsocracy here on ESPN Asheville. When we come back from the break, Jeremy, there's some action tonight. You got bangers. Let's get it.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow, 240 eastbound between exit 2 and exit 4A. 240 on the westbound side is slow between Chunds Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Highway Patrol reporting 240 westbound and Bavard Road. A disabled vehicle has the shoulder closed. Not seeing any delays here at the moment. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound slows after Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. 40 eastbound crawling between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road. Near Avery Creek, heavy delays. Brevard Road, north and southbound, approaching Long Shoals Road. I'm Lynn Benfield with your Time Saver Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Imagine getting to custom order your vehicle and get 5% off MSRP. Impossible? Not at Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Black Friday sales event. Get what you want at a price you deserve. Visit us online at marioncdjr.com or in person on Worley Road in Marion. See dealer for details.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked!
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
O'Reilly
See better and drive safer with Rain-X Advantage wiper blades at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, purchase a pair of Rain-X Advantage wiper blades and get a $15 gift card after mail-in rebate, plus 2 times O Rewards points. Our professional parts people will even install your new wiper blades for free. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts or visit O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Everyone's heard about the housing market and this being the best time to sell a house in years. But the same thing applies to cars. Whether you're looking to buy a car, trade in, or sell that car in the driveway collecting dust, Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville wants to buy your car. They have 2 on-site managers that work with Kelley Blue Book to give you top dollar for your vehicle. You can even have your car appraised instantly at AndersonNissan.com. Stop in and visit them today at 629 Brevard Road in Asheville or call them at 828-365-1663.
PhD Weight Loss has helped me lose over 90 pounds since last Thanksgiving. It's been almost a year since Jeremy and I walked into PhD Weight Loss in South Asheville and met with Dr. Ashley Lucas. And honestly, we thought she was crazy when she told us how much weight we could lose. I didn't think it was possible. But lo and behold, PhD has changed my life in the last year.
In spite of my love of butter and mayonnaise, I was never that big. I was just a little chunky. You don't have to be grossly overweight. I had some bad food habits. Fast food was easier, and that's what I ate. After just under a year on this program, I'm back to my high school weight, and it's all thanks to the planning program of PhD Weight Loss.
Greatest thing about it is it's easy. They give you 80% of the food that you need to have success on the program, and then all you got to do is add your salads in. It's nothing big, but you know what is big? The results that you will see from PhD Weight Loss. Go to myphdweightloss.com today. Trust me, it can change your life too.
At Ingles, whether we're celebrating Friday night rivals, televising college basketball games, bringing the Fan Fest to semi-pro soccer, or taking you out to the ball game at your minor league park, it's all in the bag. Ingles. Low prices. Love the savings.
Coffee still closes on. Get them the money! Then when you get the money, you get the power. That watch costs more than your car. Then when you get the power, then you get the woman.
Tuesday night football. That means it's maxing, baby. 2 just absolute bangers. Wager these games. Don't watch. Don't watch this. And I'll tell you why. These are worse than usual maxing games are. First, Ball State takes on Miami of Ohio. Miami of Ohio is a 2.5-point favorite. I'm taking Ball State plus the 3. Ball State's the better team, and Miami is terrible at home. They're 1-3 against the spread all year long. This is a small number, which tells me Vegas is actually on Ball State's side. So am I. Bowling Green takes on Ohio. Ohio's a 7-point favorite. Here's the problem. Ohio has the best quarterback in the MAC. His name is Curtis Rourke. We have no idea if he's going to play or not. If he doesn't play, this 55 over-under looks like the easiest wager in the history of time very quickly. I'm taking Bowling Green plus the 7. And I actually think they went out right. Aggressively under the 55. I have a weird feeling even if Curtis Rourke plays, he's not going to be 100%. It was a knee injury last week, and it looked gnarly.
You take those wagers over to betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. Get a 125% deposit bonus on whatever you put into the account, up to $2,500.
Under the 45 in Ball State, Miami, if you're just feeling footloose and fancy-free.
1 hour to go in the program, and 15 teams still left to do on the Week 12 Power Rankings here on ESPN Asheville.
This is Exergen Temporal Scanner weather forecast on ESPN Asheville.
Gray weather in the forecast and temperatures in the low 30s tonight. Not really seeing much on weather radar, though. Mostly sunny Wednesday, high 63, low 33. And Thanksgiving Day, partly cloudy here in Asheville with a high near 60 degrees. Do see some wet weather after the holiday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Heaviest rains likely Friday afternoon and Saturday afternoon. Could see half-inch rains both days. I'm meteorologist Scott Lauriamore. That's the latest Weather Channel forecast.
This is your time saver traffic on the new ESPN Asheville.
Traffic is slow 240 eastbound between exit 2 and exit 4A. 240 on the westbound side is slow between Chunds Cove Road and Montford Avenue. Highway Patrol reporting 240 westbound and Bavard Road. A disabled vehicle has the shoulder closed. Not seeing any delays here at the moment. 26 westbound slow between Airport Road and the Blue Ridge Parkway. 26 eastbound slow between I-40 and the French Broad River. Again, 26 eastbound slows after Long Shoals Road to approaching Airport Road. Haywood County, 40 westbound crawling between exit 27 and US 276. 40 eastbound crawling between Vines Creek Road and US 276. Sweeten Creek Road, north and southbound, approaching Mills Gap Road is slow. Hendersonville Road, southbound, slow between the Blue Ridge Parkway and Overlook Road.
This report is sponsored by Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Everyone knows you get a better deal down the mountain at Marion Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram during the Black Friday sales event. Right now, you can custom order your new vehicle, plus save 5% off MSRP. Visit us online at MarionCDJR.com or in person on Warley Road in Marion. See dealer for details.
When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
From the Ingles Studios, this is ESPN Asheville, WPEK, W225CJ Fairview, WMXF Waynesville, and iHeart radio station.
I'm Christine Lisi. Ben Simmons says he knows what's awaiting him tonight and is ready for the hostile environment in Philadelphia. For the first time since February's blockbuster trade and that bitter split that sent him to Brooklyn, Simmons will play against the 76ers in Philly. In the Nets' previous game at Philadelphia, Simmons watched from the bench, sidelined by a back issue, and believes that's what's prepared him for tonight, explains ESPN's Nick Friedel.
And I think a huge part of this is that while he wasn't playing last year in March, he went through what it's going to sound like in here tonight. People were chanting at him. They were screaming at him. He went through all of that emotion, and that muscle memory is really going to help him once he gets back out on the floor. But he's had this game circled for a long time.
The Lakers have ruled out LeBron James again tonight against the Suns because of a groin strain. Manchester United confirmed Cristiano Ronaldo and the club mutually agreed to part ways effective immediately. ESPN reported last week Man U was seeking to terminate Ronaldo's contract following his criticism of the club and manager in a recent interview. Baseball, the Phillies extended GM Dave Dombrowski's contract through 2027.
Coming up on Wednesday, we will have a full breakdown of the latest college football playoff ranking. And Pro Football Hall of Famer Ronnie Lott joins us to talk Trojan football. Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Wednesday morning at 6 Eastern, ESPN Radio and ESPN2.
He's a degenerate gambler.
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And he's cheaper than oxygen.
He's useless.
But somehow, they make it work. Jeremy Greene, Tank Spencer. There's no holding back in the Sportsocracy, presented by Ingles Supermarkets and Fred Anderson Nissan of Asheville.
And you are in the Sportsocracy, coming to you live from the Ingles Studio on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. Week 12 Power Rankings continue here. We'll pick it up with number 15. Don't forget that you can join us in the chat on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com, click on that live video link, subscribe to the channel. That gets you into the chat. And, of course, you can hear us everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. You know, should you ever, lose your Wi-Fi or whatever, you can always get us anywhere you go, even if the video's not working, which does happen from time to time. But let's
not
continue.
Right now.
Not right now. It's all good. We're all good today. Week 12 Power Rankings, number 15.
The New York Giants.
The New York Football Giants, who, you just got smoked by the Detroit Lions.
And that's 2 times in 3 weeks. And your one win in between there was the Texans.
It's a problem.
And the scary part, teams have figured you out of Saquon's all you've got.
Uh-huh.
If you don't stay on rhythm, the fact that you have no receivers left, Wan'Dale Robinson, a horrible injury, the rookie year spaceship was taking off, first 100-yard game, and then you tear your ACL.
Yeah.
And at some point, you can't withstand all of these injuries. And now look at the back end of that Giants. You remember when we said that the Giants would get to 8-2 because we didn't think they were going to lose the Lions?
Uh-huh.
Now look at the back end of that schedule. At the Cowboys, Commanders, Eagles, who are going to be rather perturbed that you beat them.
Uh-huh.
At the Commanders. At the Vikings, Colts, at the Eagles. There is a possibility that they don't win another game all year. Would it shock you?
Yes.
Who? Who you beating?
I mean, it would shock me if they don't beat the Colts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, ask yourself this. What do the Giants do better than the Colts? From what we've seen the last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They run better? Because that's their bread and butter. They hadn't for the last 2 weeks.
And they haven't for the last 2 weeks. You're right.
Against the worst run defense maybe in NFL history. You couldn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
But Daniel Jones threw for 330. Yeah, and you lost. And you lost at home to the Lions.
Right.
Look, this Giants team is a great story. I think they've drafted well, and I think they're off to good things in the future. You don't have enough talent. This is the one that I'm telling you right now, this carriage, midnight is a coming, and it's going to turn into a big old pumpkin.
So what can they be thankful for since we are continuing with the Thanksgiving theme?
That you're a year ahead of your rebuild. You have the coach. I have zero doubt about that. I do not know what you're going to do at quarterback next year. I feel like Daniel Jones has almost put you into the bind of you're going to have to do that for another year.
Mm-hmm.
But you have no playmakers whatsoever outside of Saquon Barkley left. I think the defense is good and young, but losing a Dory Jackson is a nightmare. You just lost a Dory Jackson who was playing like a Pro Bowler before you have to play CeeDee Lamb, Terry McLaurin twice, A.J. Brown twice, Justin Jefferson, Michael Pittman Jr. Good luck. I'll make the sweeping declaration. They will not win another game. This team's going to finish 7-10.
Okay. At number 14.
Do I have to?
Yep.
Do I have to?
You have to. Give me some gusto.
The New York Jets.
Look, your offense was horrible this past week against the New England Patriots. We know. Zach Wilson
is bad.
I mean, he may not be your starter this coming week. You think it will fracture the team if he does?
I don't think Robert Saleh has a choice. So I will tell you, yesterday we did the show. We were on live on location from the Ingles Giving Tree at the Asheville Outlets. Robert Saleh does media availability at 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I have very good friends in Jets media. My phone started blowing up at about 5:08 of he's never been a second late. He's an hour late. What do you think was happening? Make it make sense to me. He was in meetings. That was their explanation.
Right.
He was in meetings.
He was having the meeting with Zach Wilson going.
I think he was having the meeting with the defense. Look at their Twitters. I mean, I'm seriously, I know that sounds stupid to say. Just go to social media, search Sauce Gardner. He's retweeting players going, if you had a competent quarterback, you'd be 8-2.
Uh-huh.
That tells me everything I need to know. Because these guys are bright. They know we can see this. Garrett Wilson has called this kid out. Denzel Mims called him out. Elijah Moore's called him out. At what point do you look at this and go, it's you? And he doesn't get it. He has absolutely no idea that it's him. From what I've been told, this was just fractionally better than Ike Enenkhampali when he broke Geno Smith's jaw, because there were guys that were ready to hurt him.
Wow.
Because he's walking around thinking, I'm not the problem. You had 2 yards in the fourth quarter.
Right.
2. Actually, in the second half.
Uh-huh.
It was pathetic. Any quarterback in the NFL but you would have won that game. And, yeah, I think now you have to go to Mike White. This is one of the few times that your team is too talented from 1 to 21 for you to turn it over to this little doe-eyed child to keep doing this. Because you have no accountability. And I heard what Booger McFarland said last night, This kid grew up with money. He's never had to work for anything, and you're starting to see it.
Yes.
At some point, you have to cut your losses. If this team, and I asked Armchair this on our fantasy show this morning, if the New York Jets had Jimmy Garoppolo right now, how many teams in the NFL do you think are better than them? 4?
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it's Philadelphia, Buffalo, Kansas City, and I struggle to get to a 4th.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the best defenses I have ever seen that's this young. But you can't score. I mean, wide open Tyler Conklin, wide open Denzel Mims. And it's not, the read was off. You're looking right at them. This is Jamarcus Russell level bad. That's how bad he was on Sunday.
And he doesn't believe that it's his fault. He doesn't believe, when he steps up.
And that's the thing.
When he steps up to the podium and they say to you, does the offense owe an apology to the defense? And he just says, no.
And that's the thing. Wow. You cannot ask this defense to work this hard. And that's what all the receivers keep saying. We are working our tails off to not be the same old Jets. And yet we have this entitled little rich kid quarterback who is so non-self-aware that we're turning on him. I know what DJ Reed said. I know what he said. Oh, no, Zach's our guy. We're riding with Zach. Well, here's the thing. A lot of people in that room disagree with you. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing. Loose lips sink ships. And this is not something they're hiding from the public. You have to go elsewhere. I'm not saying you have to give up on the kid. I personally think you do. But I'm not saying this is a give up on him. This is a season that can go off the rails in a heartbeat. You should beat the Chicago Bears by 30.
Uh-huh.
Because you do everything that they have no ability to handle. This is a defense that Justin Fields has not seen all year long. This ain't the Atlanta Falcons. This ain't the Miami Dolphins. This is a team that can hurt you. And he's already hurt anyway. You lose to the Bears, this season will go off the rails.
100%.
And what I think happened yesterday is that the defense grabbed Robert Saleh and went, I don't care what we do, it can't be that.
So
if you want to preach accountability, you cannot let this kid get away with what he just did.
So what are you thankful for?
The defense. The fact that Ahmad Sauce Gardner might be the best rookie corner I've ever seen. The fact that the defense gives me hope that you can still make the playoffs. And I'm also thankful that you got 2 backups that I'm not going to tell you I have great faith in them, but I've seen Mike White be very good with far less.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bills game, go back and look at who he had to throw to and report back to me your findings. Mike White should start this week for the New York Jets. And if Robert Saleh is the coach that I think he is, I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking about commanding accountability and a leader of men. You cannot look at the other 52 and say that kid can get by with something that you can't just because he's a quarterback that we took it to. Admit the mistake, move on.
At number 13.
Had to